Here is a Vordë expansions. Of course, we start off with base game. In base game, the main archetypes will be, and here I must say that the main archetypes mean that these were the archetypes I thought of when building the collection. You will be able to build other decks that are outside of these. Just when I built the set, I didn't think of them. So in aggro, we will have Token Crusader, Charge Crusader or Archer, and Shackleburn Assassin or Mage. In midrange, we will have Token Soldier, Vordë Battle Mage or Mage. This is midrange Battle Mage from Tassel. Move Scout. This is not the move decks you would be familiar with. This is a combo-oriented deck that will use an Endurance move card to finish games on turn 9. Then we will have Pilfer Monk and Archer. These will be called Ninerance because those are the cards that do Pillage, which is Pilfer from Tassel. Then we'll have Dranlee's Battle Mage. This is the closest to Dragons. This can be played as a slow midrange deck or as a control deck. Priests of Dranlee's are 6-cost strength and intelligence cards that you will be running in this. Then we'll have Ekelhalf Crusader, which is the closest to Orcs, and you can play this as midrange or as aggro. You can also play Token Soldier as an aggro deck. Then we'll have Control, Action Burn Mage, Shout Scout. This will be called Vordë Scout, but we will not have Partunax yet. Then Ramp Warrior and Sorcerer. In combo, we have Treaty Ekelhalf and Dromedar Control. You will see what these are when the cards come out. Then we move to set 2, Dragons and Cold Ender expansion. The reason I have both names up here is because I don't know if I will be releasing this as 1 or 2 expansions. If I'm going to release it as 1, then the deck size will go up to 50. If this is in 2 sets, then Dragons will be on 45 and Cold Ender will be on 50. In Dragons and Cold Ender expansions, the main archetypes will be Doomcrag Warrior and Support Mage or Crusader. Doomcrag will be called Cold Ender. Other than that, we will have tools for aggro and control decks. We will be introducing Disarm, which is Silence from Tassel, into the game, and we'll have support removals and dual color cards for every class. Then comes set 3, Battlefield expansion. Here we will start off with introducing 3 of the 10 tricolor classes. Guildsworn named Saladis, Telvanni named Exiled, and Redoran named Ashkir. In midrange we'll have Item and Expertise, and in control Nexax. Other than that, we will have control tools, cards that mess with lane mechanics, and health dependent cards. Set 4, Banker expansion. We'll be introducing Empire named Empire, Dagoth named Dranlee's, and Tribunal named Dwarf. Because this expansion mainly just features cards for these 3 decks, aggro and control tools, then the only thing I could have named as a new archetype is a midrange Exalt named Invest deck. Then we'll move on to set 5, Shadow expansion. In Shadow expansion, we'll be introducing the final 4 tricolor classes. So this means Daggerfall, named Ekelhalf, Dominion, named Lightwood, Lalu, named Niner, and Ebenheart, named Waveman. In midrange, we'll get Rage, although you can build this as a control deck, and in combo, we'll get a Control Mill Strength deck. This is mainly a control deck that will have 2 cards that make your opponent mail their hand. Other than that, we will have aggro, midrange, and control tools. Set 6, Scrap expansion. In Scrap expansion, I will be putting in cards that put cards into discard pile, or cards that get stronger for cards in discard pile, or cards that banish cards from discard pile, or cards that discard cards from hand and opponent's hand. And because of that, the main incoming archetypes will be both combo. One of them is Mill Sorcerer, and the other is Storyteller. This is the closest to Unite I could think of. Set 7, Deathcry expansion. Here the theme was Last Gasp, and making new Last Gasp cards that are viable in this state of the game, and other than Let's Guess, I will be refueling expertise and items. Because of that, the main archetypes in aggro is a Let's Guess assassin, and in control we'll have Blink Mage and Let's Guess assassin or Let's Guess Telvanni. The Let's Guess Telvanni will be the closest to altar in Tassel. Set 8, End of Times expansion. Here we'll get in aggro move Archer, Assassin and Scout. These are the versions from Tassel but with some changed cards. Then we'll get in mid-range revitalized Move Scout, since we have introduced many move cards so you can reskin the Move Scout from base game. Then we'll get Health Gain Monk. Other than that, this expansion will feature aggro and mid-range tools, new cards for invest and items. I will be expanding dual color cards so that every class will have 4 cards, and while in the expansions before, I was always focusing on here's an expansion, these are the main archetypes, most of the cards belong to these archetypes. In this expansion, I was trying to give you cards that are singles and that you can build the decks around. And then comes set 9, Less Battle expansion. Here we'll be getting Singleton, although this is not the Singleton from Tassel, but you'll see when we get here, eventually. Then in aggro, we'll get Curse Monk, and the Galdarian Steel Sword Battle Major Crusader. Galdarian Steel Sword is Steel Scimitar from Tassel, and the main theme of this deck will be to redraw and generate Galdarian Steel Swords and win through the strength of swords. In control, we'll get Conscription Empire or Redrance, Empire or Ashkir. This is Praetorian Commander. And then we'll get in combo a mono-neutral deck, but this is not workshop, I tried to do something else. By this time, the power creep is real and I cannot deny that. If you choose the starting point from Tassel, then the power creep isn't that high. Main point here is that I tried to end the power creep, not by nerfing the cards that are exciting to play, but by giving already existing archetypes new cards that you can play around and that you will be enjoying playing. In this expansion, this is a rundown expansion, we'll get aggro, midrange and control tools. And then comes set 10, the Final Blow expansion. But for that I don't have a slide, I just have this, the overview of all expansions, because set 10, the Final Blow expansion, is under development for now. At the end, we will have 95 or 100 cards for each main attribute. And then we'll also have natural cards, I don't know how many of that yet. Here's an overview. In 1.0 we will have 2 or 2.5 expansions depending on Dragons and Contender we release as 1 or as 2. Here the main goal was to give every class, and here only 2 color classes exist, so every class 3 viable decks that you can build a 50 card deck around. Then in 2.0, I was introducing 3 color classes. In 3.0, we are getting new archetypes, and in 4.0, these are the single strong cards you can build decks around, and then just tools for already existing decks and revitalizing existing manics. So this is the roadmap for all expansions. Thank you for watching, Zerberts, and farewell.